All right, so let's talk about the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the Raptors, and at the end of the day, man, when it comes to the Raptors, now they drop. Now that Washington has been winning, Westbrook has been snapping. My goodness, has been snapping, has been doing all that type of stuff. Bruh. Well, before we even get into that, basically, and it's gonna come down to a player comparison, and I'm gonna have to talk about that because it's long overdue. It's long overdue, and I've been talking about it with some of y'all on Twitter and stuff like that, and getting into the nitty gritty. But it's long overdue. Something needs to be said because it's just like I said before. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and we'll talk about that in depth. But basically, when it comes to the Raptors, Saturday they played the Knicks. And they were on the road, and the Knicks, obviously Julius Randle went to see me when I work, man. That boy went to work, and Eden showing ability. Arsenal, like, come on now, like, disgusting. You better trust him, man. I'm gonna go into, like I said, I'm gonna go into more in depth, but he was frying 10 of 17, 31 points. You already know, 10 rebounds, and you only 1 assist. We don't need a pass for what if I'm Eden. And you can't stop, right? So, and then RJ Barrett looking clean. Like, I like how the Knicks are looking, man. They're 4th seed right now. Let me do my due diligence and make sure they're not. I'm pretty sure they're 4th seed. If I had to, they're 4th seed. The 4th seed right now, tied with the Hawks, and they have obviously, I think they have do they have the tiebreaker? I don't know, but they're tied right now, right? So, if they were to face right now, the Hawks would, I think, get home court advantage because, they have to be a top 4. But, we'll see obviously how that plays out. They have to be top 4 or 5 or whatever, right? But, because, again, they're the division leader. But the Knicks, man, the Knicks are actually putting in work, right? 1-9 straight, which is reckless. 1-9 straight. The Raptors with a 9th straight win. And showing that ability and being potent with it. And showing you what elite looks like, playing defense, like that whole energy with the Knicks, like, it's great to see, man. It's great to see. Like they always say, the Knicks being great in basketball is always like, that's when you're like, okay, the sports world, like, is centered basically, right? So it's always great to see the Knicks winning. Everything's always good when you have historic, elite franchises like that in terms of not necessarily elite compared to the Lakers and them, but elite in terms of the aura. And just them being the mecca of basketball. New York is that, and the Knicks, that's what the building was, right? So, seeing them win, and especially being under the radar and then thriving like this, basically doing kind of what Phoenix is doing, but in the East at a lower tier. But still, people didn't have them rated high. People didn't even have them, I don't think, in the playoffs. I had them, hovering maybe 8, 9 around there, battling for the 7, 8, 9. And the fact that they went to 4th, like, that's actually reckless over Boston. Because my top 4, I had Brooklyn, not in order, but I had Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee, Boston. Those are and Miami-ish. Top 4 or 5, that's what I had. And Miami's not even there, right? So Miami 7. And, a lot of things changed. I had Atlanta doing good. I had Atlanta, New York, both at maybe 7, 8, right? Both at 7, 8. I even had Indiana even above them. So the fact that both teams have, increased and gone to this type of level is remarkable, gone under the radar, but they're eating. So now when you look at the Raptors now, especially with, what happened, and, we'll go anyways, we'll go further. We'll go into that context because I give it that context, man. Basically, man, like the Raptors now, obviously, they've lost 1 game, right? And the Wizards have won 8 straight. And remember, I told, like, that's what people don't need. They need to listen. I told people, when Westbrook and Beal are healthy, and I hope Beal isn't out for a lot because he just got injured the last night, but them two being healthy and the team being healthy, because they weren't healthy. Hachimura was out for a minute, right? Like, mans were banged up. Even Westbrook, even though he was playing, he wasn't healthy. And he's not going to say nothing, but he wasn't fully healthy, and you could tell in his play. Now you see him on this straight elite level, just snapping. Basically having a triple-double, average, like, just eating, frying. Absolutely frying, like, otherworldly. Like, that's what he was doing during this stretch, and he is doing. So, You know what I mean? Like, you look at that, and it's like I said to people, the Wizards can get to the play-in. The Wizards could pick up a stretch, and they could just, they could get there. If you follow me on IG, I've been saying this time and time and time again. And what happens? They win 8 straight, piling up wins, and look at them, 10th, just like that. And now Chicago and Toronto are right now on the outside looking in of the play-in. Right now, obviously, it doesn't mean it's going to end up like that, but that's exactly where they're at. So the fact that they're at that right now, and you look at Washington winning at this high level, and they're 2 games above. It's not like it's 1 game, whatever. They're 2 games above both the Bulls and the Raptors. Raptors are basically like they went from 15th, 14th, they're 12th in the conference. And, this where the Raptors want to be, and, get to the, not do the play-in no more and just go for, picks and stuff. Do you just read and react and do that? And I talked about that in my last video, but now they dropped even further than they dropped because they got into the play-in by accident, right? But now they're dropping further, and Washington has their resurgence, and you're seeing a whole new world when it comes to Washington. So, when I look at it from that perspective, like, do you just, again, how much longer can you sit these guys out? Or do you just play them rotation minutes and play them on minute restrictions? What do you do? Or do you just go for the try and make the play-in, right? Because you're not that far off. Maybe Washington's going to lose a 1-2, right? So, like, it's so many different ways to play this, and I talked about this in my last video, but that's not even the main point. The main point when I look at this, I see the Knicks have a resurgence, or just have, like, an increase, and have, their stock rising in terms of, just the hoopla they're getting and how they're playing and being the 4th seed, while the Raptors are decreasing in the same division, right? They're in the same division, and it just makes me look like, and I just have to put my eyes on exactly, just like the Raptors dropping down and the Knicks increasing. It's the same way with Pascal dropping down and Randle increasing, and that's exactly why the situation for the Knicks is up and the situation for the Raptors is down. And this is exactly the blueprint. This is exactly the correlation to both. And I know a lot of people don't want to say they didn't think about it and whatever. I'm going to just be real. And I know people are going to say I'm hating on Pascal and this and that and the third, but enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Like, now, it doesn't mean necessarily, if you look at the stats, you could always find ways that Pascal on the stat sheet is looking nice. I have it in fantasy. So, I already know he's filling categories and stuff like that. But again, does that translate to wins? Does that translate to real improvement and real all-star caliber, guaranteed franchise player, that money you get in bag type of play? Does it really translate, right? So when I look at Julius Randle, so we'll start from the blueprint, or just start from the beginning. Julius Randle is someone who was just basically known as an athletic Zebo. That's what he was known as. He didn't really shoot. His mid-range, once in a blue moon. A lot of it was paint, lower free throw line, not extended, free throw line below, cut off, free throw line below. That's where he was putting in his work and being dominant, being like Zebo, more athletic, right? And he didn't shoot the 3 well, horrendous percentages, all that type of stuff. And, it's kind of like this could have been a guy that could have been like, I've been averaging almost basically 20-10 for a little bit, right? Let me even go to his averages and see what he was doing, because I already know he was eating. Exactly. So, ever since he was in LA, even his last year in LA, or his last year in LA, 2017-2018 season, he was averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, right? And even then, and look at his free throw. His free throw was what? 71%, which is pretty good for, like, someone who wasn't shooting. And he was 56% from the field, but only 22% from 3. And only shot 0.5 threes per game. Like, he's not shooting threes, right? So it's like he's averaging 16. And what does he do when he goes to New Orleans? Eating 21-8, right? And that's what got him that solid bag, right? After he did that on his during his extension. And he did that. What did he do that on? He did it on 52%. Again, only what? 34% from 3 at now only 2.7 attempts per game. right? Then last year he had 19.5. That's what he had, averaging 19.5. And again, 27% now this time from three. 3.6. His threes is increasing slowly, but you could see him increase his arsenal as the years during the last 3 years, during his 21, his highest career, 19, and then now at 24, right? Another jump, OD. You're now seeing, and that's why he's in the conversation for most improved, and it's rarely that you see a most improved All-Star and maybe All NBA in the same season. Like, it's crazy. So Randle is someone who, like I was saying, it's not even just about the numbers. I just put the numbers to show you, give you kind of like an idea of how he's improving, drastically. And then you even look at him from 27 3-point percentage, you see 34, 27, 27, and then, and then 20, like that's atrocious 3-point percentages. Then to now 42, doing KD like Curry like 3-point percentage, 42. And it's not just 42 on like 2 threes a game. He's shooting 5 threes a game, 42%. That is elite. That is absolutely elite. Disgusting. That's remarkable, man. And so now that's just the numbers. Now when you actually apply and look at the eye test and look at what's happening, this is why I say anything, even if you want to do Pascal, Tatum, whatever, there's such a skill difference already from jump that I didn't even think it was a discussion. But Pascal versus Julius Randle, in terms of their play style, is very, very similar, especially Julius Randle from the beginning. Julius Randle from the beginning, he didn't do all spins, but his ability was basically Pascal. If anything, Pascal even had more ability because he shot the three at a better percentage, catch and shoot wise and just shooting a three in general. But their play style was a lot of transition, you know what I mean? And bullying in the paint below. And even then, Randle didn't even get OD transition. But again, a lot of it was being your ball handling at the 4, and then you're just killing the paint, free throw line below, and you mainly paint once in a blue moon 3. And Pascal did it at a better version in terms of the 3. Right? So when you look at it from that, they literally were the same type of player. But what has Randle advanced to? Randle has advanced to step backs, mid-range pull-ups. You know what I mean? Step back threes, pull-up threes, post turnaround fades. Like, the whole works. The whole works. I seen him even come off screens and pull, catch and shoot. Like, straight ability, frying. That's what Randle's doing. Frying. And you look at Pascal, and it's the same. Go look at his G League highlights and look at him now. It's the same. If you want to say his awareness in the double team to make the right pass has improved, we give him that. But his ability offensively, his actual scoring ability has not improved. Because even back then, when he's comfortable and he feels he has a mismatch and it's like, he will do some type of ability. But is that who he is? Is that he doing it constantly? Is he doing it with pressure? Like I always explain, he's not. He hasn't improved his ability. And that's where it's just sad to see, guys like Randle, who were in the same boat as Pascal, same type of, not that much arsenal, whatever the case is. Then all of a sudden, 360, a whole arsenal. You've seen other guys do this as well, too. And I'm looking at Pascal and I'm like, come on now. I'm watching guys on the bench of the Raptors apply more ability than this guy applies. And it's just, at what point will he actually just increase his ability? At what point will he even just attempt it? At what point will he believe in it and try it and apply it on the court? If he's not applying it now, you expect him to do it now later? Like, come on now. And that's why you see the Knicks have increased and the Raptors have decreased. Not saying Pascal's the all reason. We already know Raptors COVID and this and that and, no big and blah, 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 blah. We know that. But at the end of the day, your number one option has decreased his play across the board. Across the board. What has this man done? He went from 36% from 3 to 29-30. That's what he's doing right now. 23 points per game to 21. Now, it was way worse than that. It was like 18. He obviously, over the season, it's been increasing. But since, even before the bubble, people are like, oh my God, before the bubble, he was elite. And I'm like, no, it's cap. That's versus the bad teams. Versus the good teams, go look at the games. Look how his palms was sweaty. And I broke down these games on this channel. So you can even go back. Versus the good teams, high big matches where he has a defender with length guarding him. He never did well. I think only one time versus Philly, but he seeked out the mismatch. But majority of the times, big game, defender with length, struggle. And that's why I was trying to tell people from time to alert you, because the struggle isn't the issue. I will never be mad at somebody struggling. I'm mad at how you struggle. I'm mad at your body language. I'm mad at the takes you take. It's different. That's showing me mental weakness. You're not who you are. Because your 1-2 shots miss, now you can't even take it. That means it's not your ability. So if Kyrie is missing, you think he's not going to still take the same shots? Like, if it's an off day, it's an off day. But he's not going to move different. He's not going to look like, you know what I mean? Oh, my God. He's still doing shimmies. He's still doing elite takes. It just missed. Still doing dribble pull-ups. Like, that's what I'm saying. Pascal is not even on that level that, like, he can still take takes even if he's struggling. And even if he's hot, he won't even take those takes. You don't even take them, barely. Like, obviously, you could string up, a highlight reel and say, okay, you know what, yeah. Yeah, he has these takes, it's there and all that type of stuff. But come on now. That's still spot. Out of 20 takes, 2 of them have been an ability take. Like, it's horrendous. And again, I'm not even fully mad at Pascal because it's y'all fault. Y'all sprung this on him. It's the fans' fault. I said this time and time again. The fans' fault. Y'all seen this is who he's been. He's been, even with Kawhi on the side. Just they didn't pay attention to him as much. He's been this. G League, Raptors, rotation off the bench, second option, Pascal. He's been the same guy. Just more opportunity, which means more shots. He's been the same. The ability has been the same. The same. And y'all still, with that ability, didn't decide to look at the ability and decided to just spicy P. Kawhi's leaving. He's that, yo. Come on, don't matter. Spicy P's gonna elevate. We good. We in good hands. We shouldn't trade him for PG. We in good hands. And now look. You're looking at guys like Randle. Just same boat as Siakam. Not that much ability. But and look, straight ability, complete 360 player. That's work ethic to the max. Not just work ethic to the max. I'm not saying Pascal don't work, but a lot of guys work on this. So same with Ben Simmons. You see on off the camera shooting threes and whatever. A lot of guys work on the thing, but the mentality to apply it when it matters is a whole different spectrum, and that's a character. That's a character trait. You're comfortable. You're such a dog. Like, I don't care if I miss. What I worked on this so much, and I believe in myself, and I'm now this new guy in terms of the ability, in terms of master of my craft. I'm a perform. It's like someone who sings so elite behind the scenes. They worked on their singing, their vocals. They've done all the works. But then when they're on the stage, their voice is cracking. They don't perform as well. They're shy with it. They're nervous. You would never know that this person could actually sing this note. This person could actually sing, because when you see them on stage, they trash. What is that? That's equivalent. Doesn't mean they're not working on it. Doesn't mean they can't sing. It's the same thing. Doesn't mean Pascal can't do a fade. Doesn't mean Pascal can't do a step back. I promise you, when the lights are off and you go see him at an open run, that's what he's doing. But can you apply it in the game? Same thing with Ben Simmons off the shooting threes. Can you apply it in the game? That's the different mindset. That's why I always try to make people see mindsets. Even when I talked about DeRozan, everything was mindset. All of the men have ability all over the place, but the mindset dictates how you display it, how potent your ability actually is at all times. That mindset, that killer. Some people say they're a killer, but there's levels to how you a killer. There's third degree. Come on now, and I don't even want to get into that, but there's levels to this. Are you really cerebral with it? Are you really elite with it? That mindset. You work on it to trust it because it's you and to apply it when it matters. And the funny thing is, it's not even like it matters. Well, it matters. The regular season, every game matters, but like it's not even like it's playoffs. You can't even perform it in the regular season. You think you're going to do it in the playoffs when it matters when you're padded and they force you to ISO? I can see Randle doing it, and we will see him doing it because why? He's doing it. Even in the clutch, I see him fading. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see Randle doing those things. You can't, and that's why it's the fans' fault. It really is. It really is. You see, he never had the ability, and to expect him to now apply ability, expect him to now carry at that level and do these type of things and be in a number one option role. You can't be a number one option with no ability. You can't be. You can't be. Oh, Shaq had no, Shaq had ability. Don't get it twisted. Just because he was brolic and he was dominant and he would dunk on man's heads, he had post hooks. He had left hook, right hook. Or sorry, not left, right hook, but he had the right hook off both shoulders. Shimmies, up and under punch. Like, it wasn't like mans were just dunking, that's it. Like it was a Gobert or something. Like, there's guys who even in their limitations were still arsenal in that limitation. But they had an arsenal that they could get dumped to. I don't need you to create for me. I can create. And that's the difference. Even though Shaq is being brolic and dominant, he's creating for himself. You don't have to create for him. And that's where I say, that's why I'm not even mad. More so, Giannis is not even on a Pascal level in terms of lack of ability, because Giannis, actually, if he was played in a different way, if he was played like a Shaq or like a Rudy Gobert, he could create for himself. If he was catching on the low post and just doing up and unders or whatever, he could be a complete different player and would actually transcend and match playoffs. But he's being used wrong. So the way he's playing, now the lack of ability is a hindrance because you're playing a perimeter-based play. You're at the three-point line trying to get to the paint. And they sag off you and they do a wall and they do X, Y, and Z. And now your lack of ability is showing. As opposed to if you let your point guard be a point guard and you caught it in the post, you caught it at the high post. You caught it at the mid post. You caught it from the block. You caught it in those areas and were able to create, or you're running picks and rolling. And now you're catching in different scenarios. You would be able to create for yourself and be more potent and display a different type of arsenal. But that's a different discussion. But Pascal, in his main way, in his whatever way, is lacking ability because he's not a Giannis type of height, strength player. He's more so a natural, like the four, like you see, the Tatums, right? The Julius Randles, like there are different types of fours. Ball handling, create, shot create, bully, do all of it. And Pascal lacks 3/4 of what's required at that ability skilled position. He only has 1/4 of it down packed. But, and then even with, now he has that lack of ability plus the lack of mindset. Because he won't, even if Pascal was someone that always attacked, and that's the difference between Giannis, always attacks the guy, even if it's not ability. And let's say you're solid at, his hooks, his spins, his push floater, his spins, and his up and unders or whatever, all his paint takes, and that's his bread and butter. If he was always going to that, regardless if someone's on him, even if Giannis is on him, Ben Simmons, Embiid, it don't matter who's on him, and he's finding a way to go to that always, and that's his bag, no one would even be mad. Because, again, LeBron, regardless who's on him, is trying to do the same things. He doesn't have all the ability like the other guys. He did it in Cleveland the first go-around, but ever since then, he doesn't have all the ability. When he's hot, he will do it. He will apply the ability, but he still goes to what he knows. But at the end of the day, LeBron don't not go to what he knows based on who's guarding him. He's always going to try and do his hezzy blow by on everybody. It might get padded because a guy has better defense, but he's still trying to do it. Pascal won't even try to do it if an elite defender who has an advantage length or whatever, just an elite defender period, he won't try to go on them. He doesn't. He shies away. And that was another component that I didn't even add. So when you look at it from all these perspectives that I'm explaining, this is flashes and this is signs you've seen with Kawhi. I didn't get this from, reacting to him in the season last year and whatever. No, I got this from when he was playing with Kawhi. I seen game 1 fry Tobias Harris versus Philly. And then I seen they said, okay, say less. Put Embiid on him. What did Embiid? Did Embiid check him OD? No, Embiid, what did he do? He just, because he was even sick and stuff like that. All he did was sag off. Let me take this time to rest. And he just waited in the paint for Pascal and left him at 3-point line. Pascal missed on 1, 2, 3 and then didn't shoot. Shied away. Palms was sweaty. So if I see that in the playoffs and you're not even a number 1 option, what am I going to expect as a number 1 option when now they're going to put the best defender or the best person to guard you matchup-wise on you all the time? What am I going to see? I'm going to see how he reacted to Embiid more often. That's what I'm going to see. And that's where the fans are to blame for these things and that's why you don't see the ascension that Julius Randle got, because he got the bag. He got these things doing what he did. So he's thinking, I just need to keep doing what I do and I'm good. I don't even need to improve fully and do step back mid-range and whatever. Like, I don't need to. I'm already been an all-star doing this. I'm already this. I'm already that. I already got the bag doing, come on now. Where you have guys like Randle who them getting to all-star level is when they've actually increased their bag, increased their ability. That's the difference. And that's what I try to tell people. And that's what, a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Come on now. Y'all blame yourselves. Now half of y'all, 90% of y'all want to trade him doing this. The fact that I'm hearing this man on ESPN versus the Knicks, I'm hearing commentators, I'm hearing Mark Jones, I'm pretty sure. I'm hearing him talk about Pascal Siakam and ask Vince Carter about what's going on with Pascal. You're hearing national commentators talk about Pascal's having an underwhelming season for the bag, and he's underwhelming. That's the hoopla that's going around with him. And that's what the man is talking about. So what do you think how do you think the league views him? If the commentators, national commentators, are saying this about you. That's you Raptors don't get ESPN games. So the fact that you get an ESPN game, and that's what they're saying about you. What do you think about Pascal? He's having an underwhelming season. Some could say that, some are saying that, he's been struggling. He's having an underwhelming season. Is he really, worth the money? All that type of, that's what mans are saying about you. What does that say? What do you think the league, no wonder you can't be traded. No wonder. And y'all think that came out of nowhere? Oh my God, it was just a bubble. I mean, he's been playing. It's not like he's not going to play good ever. But is this the play that is really indicative of that bag? Is this the play that's really indicative of, someone who's a bag is basically an all-star, superstar type of bag? This ain't no regular bag. This is it's close to basically the same as CJ type of bag. And CJ's basically an all-star. Even he could be a superstar if he's in a different situation. But you're on your main team and you're doing less than what CJ's doing as a number 2 option. Come on now, at some point, you just got to be real. And I know I don't like to bring it up because, again, I'm not even mad at Pascal himself because this is who he always was. He was never, y'all pumped him to be something else that he wasn't. And then the truth, the smoke and mirrors was gone. So then now y'all are a lot of y'all are rejecting it and this, that, and the third. And, and oh my God, it's not about Pascal. Okay. I mean, again, it's not about Pascal. It's about y'all. It's about y'all. I explained why at the end of the day, true improvement, when you improve your ability, when you improve and work on your arsenal, Randle has to retrain his foot pattern, retrain, relearn mechanics, relearn a lot of different things. This is work. This ain't regular. This is work, reps to get that, instincts, to get that muscle memory. Like, you're breaking your already 1-2 fugazi muscle memories to retrain and start a new muscle memory. You know how hard, that's work. Like, people don't understand, like, the way you plant, the way your footwork is, on how to get the lift on shots, certain things, the way you move in certain, like, you have to retrain it. You have to break muscle memory and build it from scratch again. That's like relearning how to walk. Like, it's not no game. Like, that's real work ethic. That's what you see. That's what you see. Same guys like Lonzo Ball. That's what you see. Retrain my shot. Like, that's real work. There's guys who even out the gate, who was elite like KD out the gate, that he used, his shot was always like this. That's how his shot was. Like this. Retrain to where it's more so, and then like this is more straight. Go look. Go do your homework. Go look. This is a guy who out the gate, rookie. This is a guy out the gate was elite. I don't need to. Are you dumb? But no, master the craft. I'm already an ability guy. I can improve my ability. I notice when I go to the left, though, it's not like I can be missing shots like this. Like, they're already operating on a high level of elite mindset that they themselves are their biggest critics. That's why some of those guys, they're more arrogant and more cocky. You can't tell me nothing because I tell myself everything. I'm already critic of this and that and that. I'm already like, God damn, I shot 3 for 15. God, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, but I tried my hardest, that's it. The guys that kind of do that and they leave it at that, they don't even improve their ability. It's kind of like, okay, don't say nothing to me. I am who I am. No, these guys worked on their game. Want to be elite at everything, perfection to its max. And that's where I don't see that from Pascal. I don't see that because, again, if I saw that, I would see him at least attempt all those ability takes that he was doing on Mario Hezonja and stuff. I would see those attempt at least on other people. Even Giannis, I see him attempt mid-range step backs. I see him attempt these things. Pascal is like, he attempts it at a necessity. If you actually look at it, low on the clock, like when he's forced to, he attempts it. But he doesn't just willingly come all game, come just be doing that. Like, you see Kyrie choose to do a left hand. He didn't need to. The right hand was there. Left hand floaters. I'm going to pull off what I work because I trust in it. That I know it's there. I'm going to do it when the lights are here. Like, that's a different mentality that you're operating on. And that was my main issue with Pascal. And that's why I foreseen this before it even happened. Because, again, it was about the mindset. It was about the mindset. And that's like, I don't mean to harp or beat a, dead horse and all that type of stuff like I've been saying. But, when I continuously see things like this, like I see Yuta and I see all these other guys doing pull-ups, like I said in the last video. And then now a next game comes Saturday, prime, is 1 o'clock, ESPN, all that type of stuff. And I'm seeing Randle, who, I already knew Randle was this, obviously. But then I'm seeing like 5 for 6 from 3, whatever he's doing, step back threes. Like, come on now. I'm seeing ability like this. And I've always seen it throughout the whole year. So I've been posting on IG. But when I now see him like in the same game with Pascal, I'm like, come on, yo. Like, this is real ability. This is real improvement. Like this. This is what I mean by real improvement throughout the years. It's not just stats. When you really improve your ability and naturally, drastically improves your stats, as opposed to smoke and mirrors with stats, but your ability looks the damn same. Y'all saying he improved his ball handling. I still see the same dribbling. 2 men come around me, fumbling ball handle. I still see the same coming up the court, fumbling ball handling. Sloppy. What's going, like, is the ball handling don't improve? Stop this. Stop capping. Just be real. Stop being biased. He's the same guy. He's the same guy. Same guy. If you want to say he improved a little bit of passing, yeah. But I don't even say it's hella improved. It's just, you're more on, like, when you're double team and you just make the easy pass. It's not improved passing. You're threading the needle now. You're seeing it before it happens, throwing lobs. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm about to fake do a pull up three. Like, you're advancing. You're foreseeing it. You're creating it instead of just reacting to it. Yes, even part of reacting to it, you can still improve your passing. I get it. Yes. But it's not really true improvement. It's smoke and mirrors improvement. These incremental small improvements, yes, they matter. But those small improvements should only be happening when you're already on this level. If you're here, I shouldn't be seeing small improvement. I should be seeing jumps. jumps like Randle, jumps, drastic jumps. Then now when you've done that, now slight, till you get to your prime. And even then, there's always still something to work on. That's what I need to see. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I haven't seen. You know what I mean? And that's what, obviously, like, again, you never know. In the future, it could happen. But, like, again, I don't just look at the results of the shots. I don't look at the results of the ability. I look at the mindset. The fact that you're not even comfortable. That's why I will never say Ben Simmons all of a sudden is going to be shooting threes. You're living on the dying on the hope side. The most likely isn't happening because the fact that you can't even pull it, that's like now DeAndre Jordan just going to be shooting threes. Y'all don't pull it. If you don't pull it, the mindset, you don't even take it, attempt it, why am I going to all of a sudden assume you're going to be? If you attempt it and you're missing, then I'm like, okay, it might change. The efficiency might increase. You're going to fine-tune things. Like, that's why with Lonzo, I was never worried because he was shooting the shit no matter what. Even with the horrendous percentages, I'm shooting the shit. That guy's going to improve his shot because he has the balls to shoot it. He's operating on a higher mindset. Pascal don't even take those takes. Why would I assume he's going to just all of a sudden have it? Come on now. Anyways, you already know. I appreciate y'all. You already know, man. I had to talk about this because, like, remember back, it's funny. It's actually just like a year ago. Not even a full year ago. That man's were literally saying Pascal better than Tatum. Jaylen Brown. Are you dumb? Pascal better than who did they say? I think maybe Buck or Pascal better than Levine. Pascal. There's so many guys. Randle. The list goes on. And now 1 year later, look what you see. Look what you see. And at some point, I'm going to be the only guy that's going to be real and tell y'all because a lot of people won't. But to me, this season, even though it didn't come down to him, to me, it really came down to him. Because if he really was an all-star caliber player, I promise you they'll be at worst 8 seed right now. I promise you. Even with the no big and whatever. Like, if he was able to get 30-some games. He hasn't even had a 40-point. Like, come on now. Like, what? Like, that's already, you're over the hump. Now, not even that even unlocks more because now guys are actually double-teaming you. Open shots for these guys. It's not even real double teams that they give you. Like, and I'm not mad at Pascal again. I'm not mad at him one bit. I'm just mad the fact that he's put in this position. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault. Why would you expect a guy who hasn't shown you ability to just have it? Anyways, you already know. I appreciate y'all. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no drought here. You feel me? You already know, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, spread the word. You know what I mean? We'll see if they're going to win, if they're going to keep on rolling. You know, well, they only lost 1 game. So we'll see how, you know, how it transpires. We'll see how it pans out. We'll see, man. I think they played today. Let me do my due diligence and check before we fully get out of here and we conclude. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. Let me check real quick. Give me a sec. No, they don't play. Yes, they played today. They played, who did they play? They played the Cavs. Come on now. Like, this has to be a win. But again, I don't know if I'm pretty sure they're going to have to keep this Lowry and VanVleet playing. They got fined, so they can't sit nobody, right? So it now comes down to whether you win or to not to win. Or what is it? To be or to be. To win or to not to be. To win or not to win. That's what it is right now. So, we'll see how it pans out. Do they make the play-in by accident or do they just continue losing? What do they do, right? So we'll see what Elite looks like. At the end of the day, you already know. I appreciate y'all. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here. And there's no drought here. You feel me? Appreciate y'all, man. You already know. And I'm out, man.